Welcome back. It's always important to be prepared when it comes to finances. You never know when you might need some extra money. And here to explain more about rainy day funds and emergency funds is financial expert Mindy McIntosh from McIntosh & Associates. Welcome, Mindy.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So first of all, what's the difference between a rainy day fund and an emergency fund? They kind of sound like they could be the same thing, but they're not.
They sure do. So just like we can't predict the weather, same with the rainy day fund. We don't know when we're going to have something come up, like a home or car repair, maybe an emergency type of travel or a medical claim. Where an emergency fund, really you want about 3 to 6 months income there. So those are for something that are big ticket items. If you're not working for several months, maybe a disability, something of that nature.
Perfect. And so for the rainy day fund, which you said could be any sort of day-to-day emergency, basically, how much should someone have in that fund?
Typically there, it's going to depend. Our clients all are going to range between $1,000 to $2,000 for that. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that there are additional items that they're not going to be paying for every day out of their checking account. So if it's a ticket item where we say, you know what, if this comes up, we need to make sure we can tap into that savings account easily. You need to be able to easily access that money if one of those events were to come up.
And then this emergency fund, you said how much income should it be? A couple months?
It should be 3 to 6 months income.
Okay.
So sometimes people average it out to about $10,000. It does vary client to client, though. So we want to make sure that if you're not working for the next 3 to 6 months, that you have a buffer somewhere to help pay for all these expenses that might come up, living expenses, day-to-day, those type of items.
Now, these sound like great ideas, but maybe kind of daunting to start.
Sure.
So if you don't have any money saved, what should people do?
Well, you really need to start somewhere.
Okay.
So we always say prepare, prepare, prepare with all of our clients. So this is a great time where people are receiving a tax refund.
Right.
So about half of our clients are receiving that. If we don't already have it earmarked for them to pay for something else, such as debt or going somewhere, it's a wonderful spot to start that rainy day fund. And if not, let's at least get it started with $50 to $100 just to get that momentum rolling.
Right, and it's a lot easier once you put it in the account and you see it's there to add to it.
Right.
So, and then another part of this is setting goals. What does that mean?
You just need to set goals. So with anything that we're talking about, whether it's a rainy day fund or preparing for retirement, if they don't actually have it on paper, written down, or know where they're going, it's kind of hard to get there. So if they can create themselves, now we've deferred, into an account, we've actually prepared for it, we know that we want to get to, let's say, $1,000, how are we going to map that out for them to actually set those goals and get there?
So always good to have a plan, basically.
It is great to have a plan, which means then if we can set up that direct deposit for them, that way, if money's there, people are more apt to just spend it. Or if they're deferring, let's say, that paycheck, part of it goes into their checking account, part might go into retirement accounts or their savings accounts. That way they're not really touching it. It's already going there and moving into that account for them.
You just make the decision one time and it doesn't... you just let it happen, basically. And then lastly, you talk about building momentum. Explain that.
Next thing about building momentum is realistically, in less than 1 year, they can have this rainy day fund set up if they just are every single month putting away into that separate savings account. It really helps to give them momentum, same as anything else, paying down credit card, getting rid of some debt items. And if you want to see for yourself, if you hear, wow, less than a year I could have this set up, go to my website at wealthmichigan.com. We have a calculator. You could figure it out even for yourself or call our office to see, wow, I could really have this set up in a year.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mindy. You always have such good advice. And again, with tax season coming, use that refund for a good rainy day fund start.
Use that refund. Start planning.
All right. Thank you.